Ladies and gentlemen, we are live here for the TSL3. It's round of 32, day 4. We are on game 3 between Empire.Kas and Liquid HayprO, the rubber match. Both players have won a single game, and now we are on Shakuras. Cross positions here for game 3. Day, lay it on us.
Oh my goodness. Cross positions on Shakuras Plateau. Big thing to note, HayprO in the top left, definitely going to be gearing to go along the bottom left side of the map. He's going to take that natural at the bottom left as his third, and most importantly, that main as a fourth. What this means is that generally you're going to see the Terrans just work that left alley, and it is a huge battle of drones and macro. You're going to see the Zerg try to delay as long as possible, but there's almost no way to prevent Terran from eventually killing off that bottom left main. So what you have to hope to do as Zerg is slowly begin expanding along the top as the bottom left is dying, and it becomes a huge, elaborate war of attrition with a lot of crazy circular expanding motion.
Yeah, and certainly can prove to have some very, very awesome games here on this map. Guys, if you have missed any of the action for TSL3, I want to remind you that you can head on over to youtube.com/TeamLiquidNet and find all of the action archived for your viewing enjoyment at any time, anywhere that you can access the Team Liquid Net YouTube channel. Follow them on Twitter as well, twitter.com/TeamLiquidNet. So yes, HayprO spawning in the northwest. He is our blue Zerg, and of course Empire.Kas, our red Zerg in the southeast. And you know, someone told me yesterday, did you know that someone apparently at Blizzard said that this map was boring? That was one of the reasons they made the modifications that they had made, like removing the backdrops, because they thought it was boring.
Oh, well, it's a good reason that we have only interesting players in the TSL3. That way, it doesn't even matter what the map is. We could be playing on fastest map possible by Ice Clan from Brood War, and it would still be the sickest game of all time.
Now that you've mentioned it, I bet people are going to be like, "Yeah, let's do it." Some guy's creating a tournament right now for it. It's all.
Yeah, actually, I will admit the fastest map possible is a pretty fun game, some pretty fun times. And oh, HayprO snagging the extractor from Empire.Kas. It's going to put a real hamper in a lot of those big gas-oriented plays that we have seen Empire.Kas favoring. But it looks like no such play is coming forthwith. There is the Reaper instead popping out for Kas. A little bit unusual for this map, but not an unusual build for Terran in general, as it will allow them to get very, very fast Expo that is quite safe against those early Zerglings.
Well, we have drones transferring over as the second phase for HayprO goes up, and yeah, there is no gas down at all right now. We got Queens at both locations, and the Spine Crawler here at the front. And here on Shakuras, especially at your natural, like, you really should do that. It's going to give you good coverage for things like those Reapers, anything that might come in, any Hellion play like that. So really, really smart decision. Like to see that as the first Reaper is out and about, scooting around, burning through those jetpacks. He's going to check out the towers and make his way. Oh, Zergling is going to scout this guy, and he will see it. We'll take him out, but he knows it's coming.
He did give the knowledge back to his people, so now Empire.Kas can take a few shots, and I do love that play by Empire.Kas, just poking up and then hopping right back down again. It's quite risky. Oh, and is he going to get... No, he doesn't quite manage to get the Creep Tumor. I love this timing that Empire.Kas has, that no matter what opening he does, he has an early push to try to kill off Creep Tumors. Very, very cool play.
I like that as well, and he really, really wanted it. May have given up a little bit too much help for that, but that 10 hit point Reaper will kind of stay back a little bit, might be used later on. Meanwhile, let's take a look at the production tab. We do see Blue Flame coming out yet again here for our Terran. Now, if you remember back to last game, he did go this direction, did have the 3 Hellions, but like you said, you know, maybe his stomach was a little bit, or his eyes were bigger than his stomach, and couldn't get all those drones, overcommitted, lost everything, and it really didn't turn out to be effective. So let's see how he'll play it out this time.
I really like the build by both of these players. I mean, we're already seeing HayprO get the +1 Zergling attack before Zergling speed, just now getting his second gas. Hasn't even begun to think about getting a layer yet. We do see that one Reaper by Empire.Kas parking itself where that third base is going to be going down. And there's another Overlord pop in there by HayprO, but it looks like Empire.Kas will be able to pick it out in time. And wow, very, very close call again by Empire.Kas, still managing to hide those blue flame Hellions. So this push is going to come out at about the same time as last game, but it's going to be a little bit stronger thanks to that very fast early expo by Kas.
And I totally love what HayprO is doing here. A Ro32 and Evo chamber at the front with a little gap, and of course the spine crawler. It will kind of force a singular path or a certain path for the Terran if those Hellions come in, and he will be able to funnel those through directly to the spine crawler, and then any other units he wants. He does have those Lings out as well, and still no speed on the way, but he's got the 2 geysers that are unoccupied there. He's going to start getting some gas, so that'll help out with the production of his units and of course those upgrades.
I'm really liking HayprO's response to seeing that. I mean, a lot of players would make the blunder of just trying to blindly take a third upon seeing that factory. They would assume things instead of thinking about the possibilities. If you see a factory with an add-on, you got to account for some sort of blue flame Hellion opening. You cannot just auto say, yep, that guy's going tanks. So very nice response by HayprO. I'm most interested, though, by Empire.Kas's play, because look at this outrageously fast third command center by Empire.Kas. Looks like he opened up with the Blue Flame Hellion Marine play, but upon realizing that he couldn't do a lot of early damage, just went ahead and sat back. And this is quite unorthodox to see this fast of a third from a Terran player.
And where is he going to put that third? Go ahead and move it all the way over to the middle expansion.
I'd imagine he's actually going to be going for the top right, but I wouldn't be surprised if Kas went for that rarely taken natural expansion. I think the important thing to note is that Kas is in a lot of control right now with this composition. Look, he's already moving down, already has this Reaper at the bottom left continuing to deny any expansion attempts. He does manage to pick off the Zergling there that was scouting, and Empire.Kas just skirting the front of the base trying to draw any units out that he can. And oh, it looks like he's just going to go for a push.
And we are going to see Marines move forward, stem up. We are going to see Spine Crawler fall. Blue Flames are going to get surrounded in the front. Here come the Banelings, and they do a ton of damage, but some Marines do manage to squeak in here. They are going to manage to take out a Queen, and nothing else is coming. Here come 2 more Banelings. Got to get out of there. Oh, wow. 2 Marines still managing to get away. They're pulling all those drones off of mining, and they will go back to work, but pretty much everything lost there by Kaz at that point. It was kind of like his last attack in the last game, but he only lost the Hellions. And that one, he pretty much lost everything.
But it's a little bit of an awkward position for HayprO as well. HayprO did lose 2 Queens there. And most importantly, look at these upgrades for HayprO. HayprO just finished the 1-1 upgrade. He's about to have 2-1, but he's not really going to be able to make use of them. So in a sense, he just kind of has these unnecessary upgrades. And what did he sacrifice to do that? Well, he sacrificed a lot of early expanding. So actually that timing by Kas, even though he lost everything, puts him in a great position. He's nullified a third base and doesn't have to deal with a huge max upgraded Zerg army.
No, that's very, very true, and we do see only a handful of units out here for HayprO. He's going to extend himself out just a little bit. We are going to see Kas go through the eastern side of the map, making his way to the natural up to the main that's in the northwest position, and could decide to just take out those back rocks and start moving in through there. There is at least 1 Overlord that is going to catch this, but one thing you'll notice is that Overlord is closer to his opponent's rock. Sometimes you'll see Zergs put a second Overlord over here where the Terran is attacking for that exact same reason. We have the units out on the map now, and this could just be absolutely crushing if it gets through here to the other side.
Yeah, the one thing I'm a little worried about from Empire.Kas is that there's such a hard path to reinforce that. I mean, that army is not as big as you would really like as a Terran. If Empire.Kas kills off this rock and then pulls off some kind of retreat, I would like that quite a bit. But I mean, look at HayprO's Baneling count. He is also getting more Zerglings on the way as well. He's easily going to be able to pick that off. And it looks like this is exactly what Empire.Kas was doing, as now he's moving through the middle with some Blue Flame Hellions.
Yes, here they come through the middle. We'll also watch that top as well. Blue Flames are going to make their way over. Oh my God, it's going to finish. The Mutas are going to catch those, and once again, Blue Flames just not working out for Kas. We're going to have some more Marines moving to the middle. Scandal's taking out those creep tumors, and we are going to have a Zergling surround here, an ultimate death of these Marines out here. So very, very nice handling here. And we are going to see now an attack on the back rocks after those two failed.
This is some very, very aggressive splitting action by Kas, but I question whether it's the best idea. We have a lot of Banelings moving in right now. There's some stim, there's some good splitting going on, but there's just a few too many units in camp. HayprO just tears everything apart. Now getting to make use of those +2, +1 upgrades. We're seeing another command center by Empire.Kas finishing as well. So right now he is just massing the command centers, but still is hanging out on 2 bases.
Yeah, and you look at the minerals on those 2 bases. These are starting to get down there. Some of them are in the sub 400s. A few patches missing in his main and down to 500 and below. Meanwhile, Zerg starting to reposition some Mutas here, see if he can go in. Might be a nice time to attack. Dwindling those Marine numbers, getting them down. Right now, there are only 35 Marines out on the field here for the Terran player. So anywhere he can pick away at some of those numbers very nicely, as we have more Marines on the way, more siege tanks, while we've got HayprO just kind of sitting on this tech path. We don't really see any infestation pit to go up to Hive, so he's kind of content with what he's got right now in the direction that he's going.
Yeah, I don't really mind this big mass Zergling Baneling Muta play by HayprO, as he's just so strong at counterattacking, knowing where to pick apart the Terran defense, when to engage, when not to. It is going for the infestation pit now, so we might see one of those fancy 1.3 patch infestors. We also see that the +3 attack is going down for Empire.Kas, but he has no armor upgrades to boot, so that will make it a little bit harder to deal with those Zerglings. And we see that HayprO also trying to deal again with this push up in the north. I'm very surprised that Empire.Kas is so aggressive about pushing here, but man, he's going to be quite happy that he can just siege this southern expo.
Yeah, that's scary. I mean, that will completely get rid of all mining from there. Where are the Banes? Yes, we have a bunch of Banes morphing in. We do. They're not quite ready yet, though. A few Mutas as well. We've got tanks sieged on the low ground. Drones are going to have to move out of there as Marines move into the back, but they are well out of the range of the siege tanks, so he's got to be careful of these as the Mutas and the Banelings start moving in. And here we go, dropping all these Marines. They will all go down, but what about the low ground? Will he be able to pick those off too?
Well, looks like there's enough tanks to just pick off all those last Zerglings, and Kas still abusing this back path, but again, the reinforcement is the most dangerous part of this entire process. He needs to be very, very careful when it comes to trying to add more units there, but even so, this force looks like it might be enough, and there, again, more Banelings trying to run. The tanks need to pick them off, and the tanks are successful in managing to eliminate all of those Banelings. The Marine count is looking awfully low, though. But oh my god, we go to the natural expansion of Empire.Kas. Look at that huge army that he has been massing up. More Zerglings finally arrive for HayprO. Infestor Zerglings coming out of the scan to pick off those Lings with that +1 attack. Look at the Commander Siege Tanks, 41 kills. 37 kills on those 2 siege tanks that were picked off. Over 70 combined kills, all Zerglings and Banelings, and Empire.Kas' focus is clear. He's going to continue drilling up this north path. See ya later, Ling Muta numbers, just one-shotted Sentinel style.
Yeah, and at this point, you got to just think, like, even if he can be streaming out units, even if he can put them in the back, there's just no amount of firepower that's going to be able to equate to this unless he really, really waits. And there's just not much out. You got a few Infestors, got a couple Mutas out as well. Here we're going to see the siege up behind this expansion here as drones just get pegged away. Tanks going directly up in, and we could see Liquid HayprO eliminated right here on this push.
And it looks like there's the stim splitting up the Marines. Amazing tank spread, not even bringing all the Marines. And look at this, just to the left of the layer, the spawning pool trying to be rebuilt. A second spawning pool getting constructed at the natural. And oh no, a drop in the bottom. And it looks like, although it will get cleaned up, it was enough to deny the mining. And in the center, Kas has a smaller push as well. 4 fronts of attack in the main, at the expo, in the bottom left, and in the center. More transfuses going on to try to help him stay alive, but Kas just slowly squeezing HayprO dry.
Yeah, I mean, we have a few infestors out. They could have done a lot of damage earlier on, but never really came into play. Now we see this main getting absolutely demolished here by the Terran. Again, without Stim, these are pretty weak Marines, but he's got enough of them that even these small numbers of Zerglings aren't doing anything. We see that this other expansion has gone down as well. Queens are getting baited into the fire. Absolutely nothing wrong with the red side of the map. And right now, we're just seeing HayprO go down in a blaze of glory. Another spawning pool is down. Here come some more Banelings. Can he finally finish these off? Will he just amass? We got more Marines, more tanks coming. Here comes the back line from the back of the map as well. This is just, you know, that may have looked like a lot of Marines going down, but there's still so much stuff.
HayprO has to use these infestors very quickly, but no! Good game! The curse of Korea continues. HayprO getting knocked out along with all of his fellow brethren. I mean, if you have ever been to South Korea, I would be very, very wary of entering any Team Liquid Star League event in the future.
What if it was just a visit? What if it was like a vacation? Is that okay?
Just make sure that you do not get any sort of visa or sign a permanent residency there.
Okay.
That is apparently the huge problem here, because again, I'd like to note that it is not just those Korean pro gamers, it is all the foreigner pro gamers living in Korea that are having a really hard time. I mean, Idra, Rhett, HayprO, all already knocked out of the tournament.
It's pretty crazy to think of all the results that we've had, you know. So we're going to be moving on to a third match here. I mean, what do you think? Last match, you know, Kas took the first one. HayprO came back and made it the rubber match, and then Kas just decisively kind of won that one. Any final thoughts on that?
I'd like to point out the fact that Kas got a very early third command center in his base and used it just for mules. The entire game. Never once use it for expanding. You heard me talk about how unusual it was to get that command center for an expo, and it turned out there was no expo even planned. Just immediately muling nonstop. And again, that's really a testament to Kas's gigantic practice regimen. The fact that he's able to pull off crazy stuff like that because he's had the chance to be able to practice it.
Right. Well, I will be very curious to see how the online sensation will continue, because he will advance. Now, are these brackets laid out in such a way that Cruncher will play Kas? Is that accurate? Am I making a
so
statement?
Close. Cruncher plays the winner of the other game, Zerax and Mondragon.
Damn it.
Kas is going to be playing the winner of Nada TLO. Now, many of you know TLO is a random player. Though he's choosing Terran against Nada, because TLO is basically saying, Nada, what race do you play? Well, I play that race better. So we are going to see a little Terran versus Terran action coming up. But I would just like to note that before any of that action ends up getting heated up, we are going to be taking a short break for our casters, myself and DJ Wheat, to ease our throats and, more importantly, to ease our bladders.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. I'm definitely going to need it. So yeah, let's just take a quick break, guys. When we come back, it'll be Game 3 between MYM Mondragon and Zerax. Don't go away.